Oh my God. I just realized my mic was muted. How fun is that for everybody? I just, it's all good. More will show up soon. It doesn't even, honestly, it doesn't matter. This is one of those videos that is probably best maybe rewatched later too. So I'm hoping that we can just talk about the trends that are coming up, talk about some of the fall trends. Hi, Kristen. Um, and oh, Ronnie, thank God. Now I have four. Hi, Holly. My Ola. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much for coming. As you can tell, brought a little swag out from the safe. I just, when I talk about fashion, it's always one of those things where you never really, nobody's ever really got it 100% sure. What's up, Doc? Hi. Oh, I saw that cute little off the shoulder thing you did, honey. That was sexy. Hi, Lindsay. How you doing, baby girl? Let's see. Generosity just received your email. Oh, yay. Good. Harry, hi. How you doing? How you doing, Harry? It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Harry's going to be the dude who is in fashion, and everybody else is going to be behind. So I just wanted to kind of, introduce it by saying, let's start with some general ideas about fashion. And one of my favorite fashion quotes from Yves Saint Laurent: "Fashions fade and style is eternal." And I think what he's saying with that, Chloe, you look hot, you gorgeous young thing. I think what YSL is saying with that is there are trends will come and go, and you want to keep an eye out. As a reseller, you want to keep an eye out for those. And I think it's important to keep an eye out for those, because if we know what's on the runway, we know what's coming down the pike. If we know what's coming down the pike, we can source the original vintage items, because fashion is cyclical and you're going to find some of the same items happening over and over again. So it's a great resource in as much as you can sort of predict what's going to happen in the daily buying life of somebody 2 to 3 years from now. And if you come across exquisite vintage pieces that are within those styles that you see on the runway, you know that those are going to hit high street this year, and they're going to hit the big cities next year, and probably the Midwest and outlying areas the following year. So it's always a good, hi Kim, hi baby girl. So it's always a good thing to sort of stay ahead of the style, just because, again, as resellers, and as anyone in the fashion industry can tell you, these things trickle down. Now, some of them trickle down and some of them stick on the runway and never go anywhere. So we're going to talk about a couple of those too, because there are things that look great on a runway, or things that are just, you see like 3 different people wearing them on a red carpet and you're like, oh, that's a style. Some of those, though, they stop dead in their tracks that season, and it's a flash in the pan. If you can pick it up for cheap and flip it fast, that's great, but you kind of want to know about those too. So I have been paying attention to the fashion vloggers. I've watched more fashion vloggers in the past few days, and the past 2 weeks, actually, I've been going through Vogue, Elle, Harper's Bazaar, every single fashion magazine that I can get my hands on. We also took a look at, I went through most of the big fashion houses, the haute couture, for the spring and summer 2022 collections, which come out in the fall. Normally, I would have already done this, but again, it was one of those. I had that sort of side road that I took with hard goods, and so I wasn't paying as much attention as I normally would, and so I had a lot of homework to do before we went into our fashion. So on with the glasses, which means that we're going to have we're going to have something come up very, very soon. Oh, Ronnie's multitasking! Yay! You just taught me how to do a banner. Oh, this came from Guys, this came from Grandpa. Do you really think I did this on my own? Come on now. No, we walked through it together. We figured it out together, which was kind of fun. But yeah, I definitely had to, definitely had to do that. So let's get started. Let's head down this fashion forward stream and talk about what is going to be hot and what you're going to see on the runways and what you're going to see in the fashion magazines this year. We'll also talk about what is still hot from last year, so what's still in style. He is a keeper, and we're going to talk about some things that again you're going to see. The fashion bloggers are going to be like, "Yeah, this is cool." Nobody's going to wear this, or very few people will wear this, and I'll tell you the reasons why. So let's get started with something that is something that most people are going to hate. If you love fashion, you may end up hating this. Hey, Thrift and Flip. Hi, baby. The accessory of the season is a statement earring. The good news is that you can go to Cato, you can go to Target and find a giant statement earring, and you are right in style. The bigger, the better with the earrings. And statement necklaces, I saw a lot of those in the runway, but they're like the multi-chain necklaces, a la, I think Chanel in like the 60s. So the multi-chain necklaces, some with like the gold chains and then the pearls, those were very, very hot. And I actually saw those on more than one runway. But some of the also other accessories, they had matchy accessories. So some of the houses and more than one of the houses did runway shows where all of the accessories were matching. Now, they weren't exact matches, but they were in the same color palette. So you had like a dark teal shoe and a light teal purse, or an orange shoe and a light orange bag or a coral bag. So think matching accessories. I hate to say this, but matchy, coming batchy. It's not my fault. I didn't do this. Just know that those were what I was seeing on the runways. I did see a lot of long silhouettes, and I apologize for checking out my notes. I was told that I visibly do that. I can't help it, guys. I make notes for a reason. I'm old. Get over it. I'm over it. You're not. Don't get over it. Just, complain to me privately, whatever. But long silhouettes. Dodo, hello. Mwah. Hi, it's good to see you. So the long silhouettes, what we're seeing is very long silhouettes. So kind of a monochromatic long silhouette with the breakup in the middle, sometimes with like and we'll talk a little bit about more about that. But we're seeing a lot of clean lines. So not as many boxy lines, not as many like, color block combos where it's like crazy colors. You have like 20 different colors thing. A hot velour tracksuit from Lidl. Oh, you know what? I actually do enjoy a good velour tracksuit when it's time. Janet, Bryn, hi guys. I see you there. Mwah. Hello. Tell Frankie I said hi. So we're also seeing some exposed skin. So, just in case somebody's exposing skin for some reason, we're actually seeing more cases of exposed skin, and the cutouts, things like that. Chloe, I love a juicy tracksuit too, although I'm way too old to have juicy written across my butt. It should just say dry. So the androgynous, gender neutral stuff too, really, really big this year. And that again harkens back to some of the other trends that we're seeing. So the first trend that I want to talk about is the ubiquitous mini skirt. You have got to see. Oh, it says slide one. Look at that. You've got to see the shows that are going down the runway. Now, they're doing mini skirts and mini skirts as suit sets. So think like Chanel tweed, and we have one of those coming up. But think like the Chanel tweed suit. Mini skirts are 3 inches above the knee or higher, typically as defined. And I saw some micro minis too. And the micro mini, I think, is going to have I think that's going to have trouble coming back because it is like a belt and you have to have a certain figure. They're low slung, so you have to be perfect in the middle, and they are high slung, so you have to have perfect thighs and knees and ankles and calves. And so the micro mini is going to be one of those sort of things, but I don't think that's going to stick around too long. It didn't stick around that long the first time, really. It was maybe 2 years, micro mini, gone. But the mini skirt is a timeless classic. And here is one. This one I absolutely love. The one that we're looking at right now is Miu Miu from their 2022 spring collection, and it's a leather one, and it's a little more high-waisted. It's got pockets. I love me some pockets. I love the Miu Miu line. Miuccia Prada is one of my favorite designers ever. I mean, she nailed the 90s so hard. She knows what the rest of us can only guess is coming. She knows it in her bones, in her good bones. So yeah, this was one of my favorite items to see. Sorry, StreamYard's weird. This was one of my favorite items to see on the spring 2022 shows. And that, of course, is a Miu Miu. That's by Miuccia Prada. The exposed bras and corsets, they're not going away. There we go. They're not going away. And as a matter of fact, they're even bigger this year. Somebody get rid of that VOI, please. Carrie, thanks. So the exposed bras, and the bras are getting tinier and they're getting closer up top. So you have to be a certain type of shape in order to do that. But simply put, you can't have decent sized boobs. Thank you, Chloe. Can't have decent sized boobs and wear that style. It's if you do, and I shouldn't say decent size, but you can't be like a larger bra size and wear that style. I would recommend for that one, I would recommend the corset. I don't have a photo of that, but the corsets were all over the runway just as much as the exposed mini bra or the bralette. So a corset, perhaps a bralette that has a little bit more of an extension down, because these exposed bras are really, really short. So they're meant for a very thin person, probably somebody with not as much boobage. As Chloe said in the chat. Call me a hoe, but I do like a bralette showing. That doesn't make you a hoe. That makes you fashion forward, sugar. So one of the next things that I saw were the oversized button-up shirts. And Peter, I think it's Peter Doe, is a designer from New York. He's very, very much making a huge name for himself. And he had these long flowing oversized button downs, these button down shirts that were paired with trousers. But when I say long and flowing, I'm talking about duster length. Okay. Oh, Jen's got wings. I'm so jealous. So duster length, they buttoned down the middle. Fendi did it. We saw it on Gigi Hadid this year. So one of the most, influential style people. And I think nope, that's not the one. I'll be darned. Okay, that's the one. So as we're seeing, they're buttoned up top and then just flowing down. Now we'll probably see a street style version of this that may not be completely full length, but I think too that this is going to be a design that's easy to copy, and you're going to see a lot of the fast fashion, and you're going to see it copied a lot faster than a lot of the other designs and a lot of the other runway stuff. So I was really intrigued to see this one, and especially, like I said, Peter Doe. He's the one on the far right, I think, or he's either the far right or the middle, but he did a really, really great job on these. And again, those New York designers, those, if you're into unknown designers, I think that you have the opportunity to really scoop up in the world of fashion. Preppy Punk. It's again, Prada did it in the 90s. They kind of brought that to the runway where it hadn't really been on the runway before. Now we have clunky shoes. We have picture schoolgirl outfits and clunky shoes, tweed, turtlenecks, all of that paired with clunky jewelry, clunky shoes. You can have a beautiful Ralph Lauren suit with a skull t-shirt. You know, it's sort of that mix. If you go into Hot Topic and you drag that store over to Dillard's, I think you're gonna find the mall version of that. So yeah, Preppy Punk, it was a thing in the 90s too. And that is another one of those 90s trends that's coming back. Hi, Andrea. Hi, baby girl. Welcome. So I really think that you're going to see that. We're talking herringbone, check plaids, and the master of them all is going to be the gingham this year. Gingham is huge. I mean, huge. So especially pastel ginghams like pink, teal, lavender, things like that. Vineyard Vines actually is my favorite for ginghams and for plaids. I really love their version of the Preppy. So if you took Vineyard Vines and you wore it with like some black Doc Martens, you're pretty much kind of there. That's what we're looking at. Low-waisted too. Oh man, I'm going to get hated onto this. I'm going to get hated on for this. Okay, these are the low-waisted pants that we're talking about though. And you have to remember too that not all, yes, very much Clueless vibes. Not all low-waisted pants are created equal. So not everybody is Britney Spears with the fish fluke hanging out the bottom of her butt. These are more baggy. They rest on the hips, but they rest higher on the hips than the ultra lows did in the early Y2Ks. So a foo-foo prom dress with combat boots and a leather jacket. Oh yes, girl crush for sure. So these are going to sit low slung on the hips. Now, if you have a short body, like I have a short body. So if you have a short body, these are going to be great for you. They tend to elongate the torso. So those are fun. And again, you can wear the baggy ones. And especially if you have if you have like a shorter torso, it's going to just really, really make you look taller. It's not everybody is going to love this trend. But it is a trend and it's coming. And so it's, just know that when you're shopping, it's not always for you. It's a lot of times it is for your customer. Rachel, I just bought a pair of Karl Lagerfeld like these. Yes, queen. Yes, get you some. Hi, Rachel. So the next thing that we're seeing are the what we call sun colors. And that is, let's see if I can find it. There we go. That is this. So we're looking at burnt oranges. Orange is a big color this year, but burnt orange is like a really big color. So we're looking at like kind of natural sun color. Although green is huge. Hi, the Thrifting Channel. Hi, baby girl. Green is huge. Orange is absolutely huge. If you can't wear orange, try coral, by the way. Coral looks good on everybody. Orange looks good on some people. And it really just depends on your skin tone. I have a very red skin tone, so bright orange, not my friend. You'll never see me wear it. But a burnt orange, one that's kind of away from the neckline, that I can wear. Or if I wear coral, again, looks good on everybody. But there's also like the greens, the greens, the yellows. Yellows they were supposed to be huge last year. They are huge this year. So the Pantone color of last year is huge this year. And probably the Pantone color of this year, which I think they said was periwinkle blue. I saw Treasures Noir had that on her live, and she was talking about that. Probably is going to be huge either later this year or next year, but you're probably going to see that walk down the runway. This one is a beautiful kind of moo-moo, really relaxed dress by Chloe. And it harkens me back to Halston in the 70s. It's got that kind of flowy Halston feel to it without being an uncomfortable fabric. He was kind of the king of polyester, but yeah, blue is and orange makes me look like a white fish dead out of. You know what? Yeah, bright orange, not my color wheel. It's just not. But it is one of those things that you can always use it for accessories as opposed to a main outfit, or you can take it away from your face and use it as a pant or a skirt. And that sort of helps with the color, and then find a more flattering color like cream on top that would sort of accentuate that. I don't recommend black and orange together unless it's like close to Halloween. It looks weird to me. Now we do have some questionable maybes. These are things that I've seen on more than one runway, but I don't think they're going to fly for long, if at all. These are things that you see and they look cool, maybe, but it's just not something that would stick long-term fashion-wise. So we're talking about classic sort of things that you can wear, the investment pieces that you can wear more than for more than one season. The Asymmetrical Trench, you're gonna hate me for this because they are cool, but they're not practical, and you just don't see them outside of the runway that much. So if you're street style in New York City, great, that's fantastic, but you're probably not going to see that on the street that much. Although if you are, grab some Burberry. If you want to, grab Burberry because everybody's doing it, but Burberry does it best, as per the usual when it comes to trench coats. Butterflies. Could you please shoot me? Some people love butterflies, and butterflies had a huge thing in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they were, all over. You had butterfly shirts, you had butterfly, hair clips, you had butterfly everything. The thing is that you can't really, it's a seasonal thing. So if you have some old butterfly hair clips or a little butterfly bag or something like that you want to bring out, fine, do that. You'll be runway ready, but it's just not something that I think is going to stay. And it's certainly not something that, unless you have a really big investment piece, like a I don't know, like a Judith Lieber butterfly bag, don't do that. Please don't do that. Or at least just don't make me watch it. That's a joke. But I think that's going to be more of a younger person. That's going to be a teen thing. Butterflies and dragonflies. Yeah, right. So 90s. Yes, the thrifting channel. It really, really is. They also fringe, and this is where I may get in trouble. Fringe on the bottom of garments. Yes and no. Here's my thought on fringe. Fringe is the thing that is going to catch on every other thing. So it's incredibly impractical. Would I wear it for New Year's Eve? In a heartbeat, I would, sure. Even long fringe I would wear on New Year's Eve. I think that's wonderful. But as far as, yes, I do remember owls, and thank God that's over too. We have regerts. So as far as, hello, Kim. Hi, baby girl. As far as the fringe on the bottoms of the garments, you're going to see it walk down so many different runways. I would avoid fringe that long, except for maybe for special occasions. Unless you have like a thicker leather fringe, like a leather fringe jacket, you could probably, that's going to come back around and around and around again. It's kind of a classic. And I think you can wear that. I think fringe for special occasions is wonderful. Western style fringe or 20s flapper fringe. At this point, we're looking at 20 flappers fringe, but Western style fringe, again, Western style is always going to come back around. So if it's not in, hold on to it. I think that it's so cute, but it's just utterly impractical whenever you have a lot of fringe on the bottom of something. So that would be probably a one season wonder, or not even one season wonder. I would say a special occasion wonder. I would put that in your special occasion portion of your closet, unless you want to get your fringe jacked up, because it does catch on everything, your car door, your car keys, your purse, your everything. Um, Rhinestone and sequin fringe, girl after my own heart. Hello, fringe can equal cringe sometimes. Yeah, if it's done the wrong way, you bet. Trains. I saw trains all over the runway, and not just on not just on ball gowns. They had trains on. They had trains on regular suit jackets. They had trains. I know we're talking about trains that come behind you. They had trains on regular everyday dresses. They had trains on, maxi skirts, things like that, even on shirts. Here's my problem with trains. Um, I've done enough weddings to have seen what happens to trains. In one day, a train can get so filthy that you cannot recover it. Picture yourself outside of your home, walking along, and this crap dragging on the ground behind you. So yeah, I mean trains on skirts. All right. Hey, Allie Dell. Hi. We were just talking about trains and how awful they are. Or I was about to say how awful they are. They're not awful. They look cool on a runway. They look awesome on a runway. But yeah, if you've ever worn, Andrea, you're exactly right. If you've ever worn a wedding dress or a prom dress with a train, enough is enough. You cannot. It's kind of like the long fringe. It's not practical for every day. If it's like a dressy occasion, go for it. I have one with a train that is fantastic. It's one of my favorite go-to dresses. I just wore it to a benefit in the fall, but it's all aboard since we're talking about. Okay, I just wore it to a benefit in the fall. Yeah, it's great for pictures. Exactly. It's great for pictures. They're kind of cute. You can wear them for one night and maybe take it to the cleaners and get it done. But it's really impractical for everyday life. So when you see it on a suit jacket, just know that's a runway. Runways tend to take a lot of artistic license. They do some, well, you guys have seen runway shows, they do some weird stuff. The chunky loafer. The chunky loafer is in, and I do love a chunky loafer. I love a chunky loafer. I think it's great. So when you're thinking of that, think the 90s. Laura Piano did one. Jimmy Choo has a new one out that's really, really cute. But a chunky loafer is definitely a very style niche thing. If you're investing a great deal of money in a loafer, I would strongly recommend that you just go with the traditional loafer. You cannot go wrong with a penny loafer, and especially a black penny loafer. They'll last forever. The leather's always good if you buy a good brand. Yeah, with tassels. They had the tassels. They had the little zigzag things on the front. They had some of them look like saddle shoes. So they have some really, really cute ones. I can't wear loafers. I buy them and I never wear them unless you get like a really soft leather that's willing to conform to your foot. And with a chunky loafer, you can't really get that soft. It's just, tux front. Thank you, Dodo. With a chunky loafer, it's really hard to get that soft. So I think they're cute, and it's kind of like the fringe, and it's kind of like I think they're cute. I don't think they're impractical, but I think that they're going to go out quite quickly. I think that that's kind of a passing fad, and you're going to see that maybe within the next 2 years. The mule style loafers, I like those. I do like those, Allie. You wear them to work all the time. Good for you, girl. You got some cute shoes at work. Also, there is catsuits. Do I have to explain why catsuits? Okay, I'll explain why catsuits, since not all of us are, not a size 0. Here's the thing with catsuits. Catsuits don't look good on everybody. And so in order for something to make it all the way down to the streetwear level and not just high street and runway, it's going to need to be something that people can get behind. Catsuits. A, how in the world do you go pee? How do you go pee? B, it's not flattering on 90% of the world's body types. On most body types, catsuits are unflattering. I'm not going to say that camels have, feet and maybe toes, but I think you would see a lot of that. So that's just, sorry, didn't mean to, yeah. So catsuits, yeah, I just even they do make bigger styles of those now, and I just don't think that that's I just think that that's one of those things that's a flash in the pan. You have a muffin, Andrea. Andrea, we all have a muffin, honey. Well, a lot of us do. Um, Something I am seeing that I think is going to be it's coming down the pike, but you're not going to see it this year. Balenciaga, Gucci, and Chanel. I was watching their runway shows, and they all had really fantastic oversized bags. Do you remember in the 90s when they had the really big bags? I mean, just really big bags. You could put like a refrigerator or a kitchen sink in these bags. That's what I'm seeing on the runways right now. Balenciaga was doing it with Balenciaga had like a Gucci style bag. So it actually legit, I was like, what are they doing wearing Gucci? But it wasn't. It was Balenciaga doing a Gucci style. So if you have vintage Gucci bags, vintage really large Gucci bags, or like the ones with the stripes down them, Balenciaga's doing that right now. And I think you can get more for those. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, bring back big bags. But they're not doing like it's not the crossbody. It's not the crossbody, sort of medium-sized pocket sling that we've seen for the past 5 years. It's more of a big, I mean, like a big bag. Like you could put your laptop in there. I'm gonna try to put mine. Hi Shay, how you doing, baby girl? You can put your laptop in there. You can put big bags make me look thinner. I think big bags make everybody look thinner. They certainly made the models on the runway. Louis Vuitton carry-all is my dream purse. We're going to save up for that, boo-boo. So those were some of the things that I've seen on the runways. Now here are some other things that I've seen on the runways and in the fashion magazines that are still going to be around. So you may have these from last year, probably do, at least one or two pieces of these. And these are things that are still around. Athleisure. The sweater, the matching sweater and sweatpants, or the matching, t-shirt and loungewear, all of that athleisure look still around. They're wearing it with heels now, for God's sake, out in the streets. I saw this. So it really, really cute, by the way. They rolled up the bottom of the sweatpants and put it on with a pair of pumps. It's adorable. But those I've seen again on the runways this year. I also saw again the oversized blazers. They're not going anywhere this year. There's still a call for the oversized blazers, although everybody's talking about the evolution to the micro blazer being the next step. It's not going to be hitting anything that's not a runway within the next year, at least, if not more. And you're probably going to see. You'll see those in like a higher fashion situation maybe this year, but you won't see those in traditional, regular, everyday. People just aren't that quick to give up the fashions that they really went for. Wearing a matching legging set as we speak. Yeah, everybody at the Greensboro bins. You're not lying. Cutouts aren't going anywhere, but they're changing. So the cutout where you have the like the keyhole neck, that's kind of done. They had, I think, one or two runways. I said Christian Siriano had like a keyhole neckline, and I just hated it. But I'm not a big fan of the keyhole neckline. But most of the cutouts that I'm seeing on the runways now are like, they're getting like really extreme. They're getting side cutouts. They're doing like crisscross in the front. They're doing back cutouts where the back is like, mostly cut out. So, and they had side cutouts on the pants. There were pants that were barely pants. They had cutouts across the riblet cutouts. Yes. They had cutouts across the thighs where it looked like the front part of the pants were disconnected. So cutouts are getting extreme on the runways. I don't think that's what we're talking about. A little bit of a cutout, though. Again, asymmetrical something. This is supposed to be asymmetrical, and it keeps going off my shoulder. Sorry. An asymmetrical something, or a little cutout on the arm. Leggings are really cute with that, like Lululemon leggings, things like that, with the little cutouts. Cut V crew necks are basically back basically through the breast line. Huh. Carrie, you did say that before. And I am not repeating that out loud. Did you say chaps or chops? Okay, chaps. Um, so, so we're still seeing those. The crochet too. Keep with the crochet because the crochet is still here. So if you have the crocheted tops and you have those in your closet and you're like, oh no, crochet is out, let's not sell it. Sell it, honey. People are still buying the crochet stuff. Platform shoes, Doc Martens still here. They are going strong and they don't look like they're going anywhere for at least the next few years. They were on every runway model that was not wearing a heel, every single one. So you're going to, if you have your Docs and you're still selling Docs, still source those. I would still source those. Glitter, sequins. Sequins were all over RIP, the purple one. Hallelujah. Sequins were all over the runways. And Tom Ford had nothing but a sequin. Chanel was the same, the beginning of the Chanel thing. Oh, look at you sniping me. Somebody go get this sucker. So Tom Ford had a really great runway show, and Chanel had a really great runway show where they began with a lot of sequins. I love sequins. I do. We all know that they're itchy. We all know that they're a little uncomfortable, and sometimes the sequin can rub like on the inside of your arm or like on the back of your knee. But sequins they're never going to really go away all the way anyway. As long as New Year's still has an eve, and as long as weddings still have days, we'll probably still need sequins. They're doing, yeah, I've made it. Woo, I got chat trolled twice. Are Birks still in? Birks are still being worn. You don't, and we'll talk about what you need to give up and what you don't in just a few minutes. The Birks aren't on the runways anymore. I can tell you that. But it could just be that they, stomped them, that they stomped those for so many years. When I say stomp, I mean they walk the runway in them. That's the shoe. So glitter, sheeny fabrics. I'm seeing satiny fabrics with a really beautiful, rich satin finish. Those are still here. As long as and I don't think you're ever going to go wrong with a glitter piece, with a sequin piece, with a shiny piece, because there's always a time and a place for those. And somebody is always wanting to stand out in them. I just picked up some Doc platforms for $50 at Ross. Listed high, just waiting for the right buyer. Nice. Doc platforms. Yep, you got them. You got them. You think Birks are fashionable, so that's what counts for me. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. These are the things that are leaving runways and high street fashion, and this is where I'm going to really enroll. Okay, they're leaving the runways and high street fashion. Note that I said this. I did not say that they're out of style. I simply said they're leaving the runways. The keyhole cutouts, we talked about those. Cutouts are, more diverse now. Guys, skinny jeans have gone. They're not on the runway. Take a moment to hate me. Go ahead and send me the hate arrows with your little brains. I know. But skinny jeans are not they're not on the runways anymore. Now they do still have leggings, but I did not see a pair of skinny jeans on the runway. Bohemian, cottagecore, didn't see those on the runway either. There were items that could be considered bohemian, but as far as bohemian as a style from head to toe, it's not. Chloe, don't pour one out for your skinny jeans yet because we're almost at the end. But bohemian, cottagecore, farm fashion, just not on the runways. And if it's not on the runways and if it's not in the magazines, and I did look again at several different fashion magazines, if it's not on the runways and it's not on the magazines, then it's probably going to be headed in the direction of the, of the cold shoulder. And then neon colors were huge last year and the year before. Neon's really not that in. If it's paired with something, if it's like a workout situation, maybe. So if you have like maybe a navy blue pair of track pants with like a neon stripe down the side, That could be cute. But you're not seeing any neon on the runways. You're not seeing it in high street fashion. And frankly, you're not seeing it that much in regular street fashion either. It's sort of one of those things that'll come in and out and in and out. And, it's a color choice, but most of the color choices are in sort of the pastel range. Most of the color choices are going to be in a very preppy sort of range, and anything that's not a preppy range, you're gonna probably see like burnt sienna and kind of desert colors, burnt sienna, oranges, corals, that sort of thing. And I should know I walk them every night, Carrie. Well, and that brings me to my, that brings me to this. Fashion is what you buy. Style is what you do with it. And I think that, yeah, Preppy, thrifting channel, honey, Preppy is coming, and it's Preppy Punk too. So you can actually you can grab the Preppy and make it your punk too. As styles gets harder to find in traditional stores too, remember that if things are headed out of style, that is your chance. Pick up those things because somebody is looking for them. And I'll give you an example. I had some jeans that I got in like a jean box, a denim box from ThredUp. I didn't like those jeans. They had like the sparkle butt. They were kind of low rise. They just weren't my style, my personal style. And so I thought, well, these must be out of style. But I got them in the box and hey, Danny V. And I went ahead and I listed them. And there were 2 pair and I listed them. They were the first of those jeans from that box that sold. And the reason that the lady texted me and she said, messaged me, hi, Wendy. Hi, baby girl. She messaged me and she said, you know what? I have been looking for these because they quit making them and I still wear them. So I don't think that something going out of style means that you don't source it. I think that would be a huge mistake. I think what you can learn from what's coming on the runways and what's coming in the fashion magazines is how to get ahead of the curve so that you can source it before people start marking it up and before people start going looking for it. Yeah, exactly. Miss Me jeans sell and I hate them. I kind of hate them too, honey. I've been seeing the baggy pants coming back. Lil Wayne started wearing them again. He kind of brought the skinnies to life. Yeah, they just, it's getting ahead of the curve. And that's really what I would do with a fashion report on a reseller channel. That's where I would take that information and that's where I would use that information. So just know that, no matter what is trending, the thing that never goes out of style is confidence. If you are walking tall with your fashion, whether it's in style or not, or whether it's in style according to magazines or not, you're doing great. You're doing fine. You're fashionable. I can tell you that 90% of my wardrobe consists of like Old Navy. So, Old Navy, Nike, like sweatpants and athleisure suits and pajamas. And, I work from home. So, yeah, your Goodwill marks up Miss Me, so you stop picking them up. But see, that's the thing too, because there are things that are, slowly headed out of style. And once those do go back down, that is a really great time to source those things. So very true confidence is the best looking thing you can show. I totally agree with that 100%. I think that this is not to tell you what to wear. Be your own person and make fashion your biatch. Make it your own, just you do you, as Johnny would say. But I think it is a good idea to sort of stay ahead of the curve and know what's coming down the pike. If you can source it early. That's how these kids like NCI Resale Nick, that's how he and Jack and Ryan, and that's how they, end up making money because they've got this stuff already sitting in their closets when people start to go look for it. So it's something that you just kind of want to be ahead of the curve. I do want to thank everybody who came today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I could not possibly be more thrilled. And thank you for making my, all of my hard work worth it. I love each and every one of you. And never forget, no matter what your style, no matter what you're walking down that runway, Glamour loves you. Bye.